He's just a big bully. Like Homelander's at his best when he's being a massive bully and just a huge immature man-child. From the moment I saw the first episode of The Boys back in season 1, it's been one of my favorite shows, and I was eagerly awaiting season 3 to premiere because I am so excited to see where this story goes. Real quick, if you enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. I make new videos pretty much every week. I'd love to have you along for the ride. One of the things I've enjoyed the most about The Boys since it first premiered a few years ago was its incredibly sharp political satire, comedy, dark humor that it's become known for. I will admit I did not read the comics of The Boys, so I really don't know much about this story or where it's supposed to go. I've seen a few things here and there, but for the most part, I'm really not sure where they're taking this entire show. Season 1 of The Boys I thought was fantastic. They laid a lot of great groundwork for where they wanted to take things. Season 2, I think, is like one of the best TV seasons I've seen of any show, and especially the season finale. You go watch the season finale of season 2 of The Boys. That is how you do a season finale. And so, safe to say, there's a lot of hype going into season 3 because the show's been gone for a little while due to filming delays and whatnot. But now that it's back, we've all really been looking forward, especially based on the way season 2 ended, to where season 3 was going. And at the beginning here, they've released the first 3 episodes of season 3 all at once. I binged them all, I'm all caught up, and I gotta say, I am very excited to see where this show is headed, but I think there might be a couple things that have me a little bit nervous about the way the show is being structured. Let's get some of that negative stuff out of the way, if you could even call it negative. These are just small things that make me kind of think a little bit farther ahead in terms of, will something become a problem? The main thing is that I think The Boys is at its best when they're focused on Homelander and Billy Butcher. Those are probably the 2 most compelling characters on the show, at least in my opinion. I think Homelander is one of the most compelling characters on television. A lot of what has made The Boys great is those scenes where Anthony Starr is showing just how obsessed Homelander is with his image, what a man-child he is, how immature he is, but also how insanely evil he can be if he's pushed, but he also has this massive ego. He's a fascinating character. However, it looks like at the beginning of season 3 here, while they are still spinning that plate of Homelander being kind of going off the rails, which has always been the threat of like what he could be capable of if he snapped. It also feels like they might be trying to backpedal a bit and give a little bit of shine to some of the side characters like Mother's Milk and Frenchie and Kimiko, who have kind of just been side characters, and it's sort of for better or for worse. I love when side characters get a little bit more to do, just like have their backstories explored a little bit more. But I think at the same time, the show is kind of a runaway train at this point where it's like, I want to see Homelander and Billy Butcher. I want to see that whole story. I want to see what happens with Soldier Boy. I'm not as interested in these side character stories at this point. If, you know, you go back to season 2 with Kimiko's brother, that stuff was all really interesting because we were just finding out. And now it feels like trying to double back and talk about a lot of that stuff. At this point, the show has reached an area where those stories feel like they slow things down too much. But at the same time, I could see appreciating them going back, giving some of these characters their due. Now, onto the positives. Literally everything else. I am incredibly excited after these 3 episodes to see where they are going with this season because there's a lot happening. I am incredibly intrigued to see what is happening with Soldier Boy, what is happening with Billy Butcher taking the little mini superhero pills where he gets the powers. I thought there was a great scene at the beginning of this season where he says he would never want to become one of them. And then as soon as he takes the pill and does become one of them and has all these powers, he's like, oh my God, this is great. But he also realizes he can't control it. And nobody else knows he's doing it. So I'm interested to see that reveal. I love it whenever the audience knows more than the characters in the show. And that's what's happening here. As far as Homelander goes, he's amazing as always. There is an absolutely emotionally hilarious yet gut-wrenching scene where he forces the Deep to eat his octopus friend in front of him at dinner while he welcomes him back in. He's just a big bully. Like Homelander's at his best when he's being a massive bully and just a huge immature man-child, and that is exactly where he is right now. And also, they're finally exploring What if he's finally snapped? For the first couple seasons, he's always been obsessed with his image. They hold the cell phone video on the plane over his head this entire time. Now he's kind of at a point where he's like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do whatever I want. And also A-Train changing his costume to have more Africa-themed colors is hilarious. This is like one of the most underrated plot lines in season 3, I think, right now, because it is just being done so well. I'm curious as season 3 goes on, kind of where things are headed, especially with Homelander, because he is one of my favorite characters, but also when we eventually hopefully see this final showdown between him and Billy Butcher and Homelander versus Soldier Boy. Not really sure where it's headed, but I love it. And look, if you have not watched The Boys yet, please check it out. It is not just a superhero show. It is an incredibly well done superhero satire, and I cannot wait to see where season 3 is headed.